Hi, Dan. So this draft obviously has a lot of, pardon me, has a lot of affection. Um, it's written with a lot of heart. You can really feel that, especially in the opening pages, but kind of overall. And there is there's an investment of sorts, both rhetorically and in the research. And so I can see how, like you said in the email, that you really enjoyed writing this paper because it's evident. And that's great. You also have this really compelling argument, you know, and we're not exactly sure where it's going to go specifically, but we know that you're saying that youth sports need to somehow be equitable in America. And you kind of you allude to subsidization. My goodness, to subsidize for people of low income. And, there's something interesting about that, like the equitability um, as a means to foster not only um, less of a disparity of health, right? Because we see health disparity in America based on wealth um, and socioeconomic position. So, um, this idea is like super compelling, and you also, you explore ramifications of this, right? Um, so all of the parts are there. Yeah. Now it becomes about structuring a little bit because we don't get to the thesis until page 7. And while it's okay to have an unorthodox structure for your paper, um, and we certainly are enjoying a lot of the narrative and the anecdote, of the first 7 pages about your experience in, football and, um, this kind of like move towards uh, this community where you're really seeing the disparity in opportunity. Um, like that's really compelling, and we would want to keep a lot of that. But right now, it's front loaded in the paper, and so we as a reader don't exactly know where we're going, and it'd be good if we had a little bit more direction. Yeah. So what I would advise is just bringing the implicit thesis statement that you have a little bit sooner in the paper, and then integrating some of the anecdote and narrative that you have throughout the paper, kind of pepper it, later as qualitative examples, right? So it's like maybe the paper really begins with your deep love for soccer and then the switch to the Landover camp, um, where you made you you developed these relationships and also this kind of conscientiousness or consciousness around your own wealth and the effects of that. So I think that if we move the thesis up a little bit for for the paper, and then one of the things that'd be important to do is really look at your argumentative elements that you have in the latter half, the ramifications on of obesity, the economic ramifications of obesity, the economic ramifications of, right. So you have all of these ramifications that you're calling them. You have them organized, but think about which order they should go in. Maybe the ones related to health should be together, right? Um, so that's a little more cohesive. And then we need some topic sentences, because I think you have this incredibly compelling paragraph about the different ways that race is represented in sport. Collegiate African Americans overrepresented, whereas collegiate Latinx underrepresented, right? But we need to know, like, what is this contributing to your argument specifically? Because it's really great material, and we can surmise as readers what it might entail, how it might contribute. But that's your job as a writer, yeah? Remember that your readers are sheep, and you're the only one who really knows kind of the master plan. So you need to lay it out a little bit more in topic sentences, and then also in reflective sentences towards the end of each of the paragraphs, where it's like you kind of reflect on what this information is doing towards the contribution of your overall argument. Because remember, you want to be persuasive. So those are the things I would work on. You know, moving up a little bit the material, keeping a lot of this material as qualitative evidence, right? Because that's just as important and certainly gives this paper a lot of character and heart. And we're going to love having that in there as a reader. Then, organizing your main points, the main argumentative elements that are in the latter half of the paper, um, a little bit more seamlessly to create a trajectory of influence. And then lastly, to tie your paragraphs to the overall argument through the use of topic sentences and reflective sentences to close. That's where I would focus. It's an important paper, and it's really a joy to read something like that.